VP Harris slammed for saying Hurricane Ian aid will be based on equity. So we're going to be checking out this article. Haven't read it yet, but based off this headline alone, this is so beyond stupid. So Vice President Harris came in for a torrent of criticism after telling an audience that communities of color would be first in line for relief in the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Ian. We have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, she said during discussion with Priyanka Chopra at the Democratic National Committee's Women's Leadership Forum on Friday. If we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we need to take into account those disparities and do that work, she added. Harris' remarks immediately came in for backlash, including from Christina Pushaw, Rapid Response Director for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This is false. At VP's rhetoric is causing undue panic and must be clarified. FEMA individual assistance is already available to all Floridians impacted by Hurricane Ian, regardless of race or background, Pushaw said. Sadanand Dume, a fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, added that real people don't talk like this. Honestly, this is probably one of the stupidest ways to speak about a disaster. We're like, oh, we're going to give people money based off their race. You're going to cause so much more headache by saying something so stupid like that. If a hurricane hits a state, we should expect the government to help all those affected: black, brown, white, purple, green, he said. Even Elon Musk, the world's richest man, chimed in saying resource allocation should be according to greatest need, not race or anything else. Exactly. And here's the thing. You gotta view it basically like the emergency room of a hospital. The ones in the greatest need get the service first. If someone is literally going to die in 10 minutes, they need to be seen first before a guy who has a broken arm. Okay? It's just common sense. So, when I stumbled upon this article, I was just like, you have to be kidding me, right? After a certain point of seeing things like this, it's just so stupid. So let's see some of the comments, because as you know, there's going to be a lot of comments about this one. Yeah, a lot of one. Let's see. More racist than Cosby, but gets pass after pass after pass. I am sure she will lose more votes than she would gain by her pandering. Let's see. This inspires resentment or worse. Yeah, here's the thing, right? This could end up getting really bad because you're going to start having basically people literally hating other races just because of this, just because of her comments. So if I'm walking into a store, I'll keep the door open for those of color, but not for white folks. Oh, I get it. To be white means stand in line from now on. To be of color means jump the queue. So it's not really about income, it's about your skin color. Let's see. That is racial discrimination, and she should be impeached for using her office to promote anti-white discrimination. Will a multimillionaire black be given aid over a poor, unemployed white person? How are they getting away with this? We now do have, for the first time in our history, systematic racism. It is anti-white racism, and it must be stopped. She is stating this because that is how she got everything she has. She is the product of affirmative action, and her would not make even one non HBC or law school. Her whole career is that of affirmative action and black privilege. Well, the thing is, I think the majority of her career was actually made because she kind of like slept her way to the top, I believe. At least that is partially true. Let's see. Let's distribute aid according to how much taxes the recipient paid. That seems to be the most equitable way. I don't know what's worse, her lack of intelligence and common sense, or those who voted for her. Harris is worse than worthless. She has to go. If I never hear the word equity again in relation to humans, it would be too soon. Pretty dumb statement. I agree. I think discrimination is wrong, but the Democrats live by their own rules. Ridiculous. Let's see. So, as a black man, I can only say that this is one racist C word, and to be clear, she doesn't identify as black unless she needs to shield herself from legitimate criticisms. Is she stupid on purpose or on accident? She was much more compelling when she was Willie Brown's sock substitute. Honestly, this person makes. Okay, let's see. So I guess this is the actual bigger quote that she said. It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making, Harris claimed. And so we have to address this in a way that is about given resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. She added, if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities and do that work. The actual additional parts of the quote do not reduce her racial prism. This administration does absolutely nothing but divide, 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 and make some people feel like they are not worthy. Let's see. So I mean, feel free to give your thoughts on this if you stumble upon this. It's just like she needs to be better at wording her speeches, right? Because even with the bigger context quote that that person put down there, if that is actually the true full statement, it's like don't try to politicize an actual emergency going on, right? Be like, hey, we are going to help everyone in need from this hurricane. Just say that, right? Just say that we are going to help everyone in need. That is literally all you have to say. All you have to say. And people would just completely ignore your words, right? And be like, they'll just move on. They wouldn't care. But no, because you have to politicize it, it's just so stupid. Feel free to give your thoughts, but the thing is, I hope that people who did get affected and are getting affected by Hurricane Ian, one, are safe, but then also I hope that they actually have good health insurance, home insurance, and life insurance as well. Because if you don't have good insurance in multiple facets, you could be truly financially destroyed, right? If you end up having a medical emergency and you have no health insurance, you're screwed. if your house got flooded and like literally just like basically floated away from you and you lost your home, but you did not have good property insurance, you're financially screwed. If you had a loved one, or if you ended up passing away, let's just say that. Well, no, let's say that you are married with a partner, and that partner is the breadwinner of your family, and that partner passed away in Hurricane Ian. If you did not have life insurance on that partner, you would be financially screwed. And if you have kids, they would be screwed as well because there's no way for you to end up paying to take care of your kids at that point because you were not the breadwinner. But if you have good life insurance, you could end up basically surviving off of that until you find a way to make a livable income to provide for yourself and your family that you need to. So just get good health insurance, life insurance, property insurance, and stay out of debt, manage your money right, and for the most part, you're going to be okay, even when horrible things happen to you, like Hurricane Ian.